Hello, everyone, and it's my pleasure to see you all and to have a new session together. Let's start our session. The session is about the top English language mistakes, why they happen, how to spot them, and proven solutions to such mistakes, inshallah. Anyway, let me start with our agenda or with the contents of our session. By the end of the session, inshallah, or through the session, we are going to have an overview of the common mistakes in English in general. We'll talk about some tips for improvement, and we'll have talk about the conclusion and the discussion, and we'll have part for questions and answers. The session will be in English only. I mean the explanation and so on, like more than 95% of it will be in English. But once we start our discussion at the end of the session, inshallah, feel free to ask the questions English, Arabic, whatever. Let's start at first with an overview of common mistakes, common language mistakes. Number one, you'll find that there are some grammatical errors, and this happens with verb tenses and conjugation. Fine. It's like when I say, for example, when somebody says, for example, she go to school. And the right answer would be like she goes to school. I eat dinner yesterday. I ate dinner yesterday. This is the right answer. Fine. Now, as you see, you'll find that there are very simple mistakes that some people make, but we all see that as students and as teachers too. Fine. What is the solution to that? We'll come to a solution to all that by the end. But the main thing here, let me give a brief comment on each point, and then at the end of the session, or by the end of the session, you will come across everything that would help us to do that. I would recommend it for everyone, mainly people who just begin to learn English. I would recommend it for them to start with grammar books that are of a lower level. Grammar way books, you'll find them online, of course, written by Virginia Evans and Jenny Dooley, with a series of 1, 2, 3, 4. You will find that book 1, for example, targets A1 level, A1 or A1 plus, which is actually the basic level. And here there's a very important point that even when I see that I have some students of the level of A2, okay, I usually ask them to share or to refer to the book, which is A1 once more. This is something which I call filling in the gaps. Usually, we have some parts of our language that we miss, maybe we forgot, maybe we didn't learn earlier. It will be better if you refer to that. The second one is something which is called subject-verb agreement. And what is subject-verb agreement? It is when the subject agrees with the verb. The subject is the doer and agrees with the verb. As we have the same idea that we have in Arabic. We have in Arabic الفاعل والفعل والمفعول به. In English, we have the same idea. We have الفاعل, which is the doer or the subject. والفعل, the verb, and the object, which is المفعول به. Fine. The point here is one of the mistakes that we usually see in our classes from students, and teachers notice this, the idea that the subject does not agree with the verb. Fine. Like, for example, we say he, they, somebody would say they was happy. Of course, it's correct to say they were happy. He don't, no, he doesn't. And here I have something that we need to notice, which is, and we'll come across this point when we talk about words that are uncountable and words that are different in Arabic. Okay? So we will talk about a point here, like, for example, when I say a box, an orange is. Some oranges are. How about a box of oranges? So the box, got that I mean? We move now to another common mistake, some grammatical error, which is the idea of using articles like a, the. And I would say that the main cause of this issue is actually that we sometimes, or people usually think in Arabic. And this is what causes the problem. Fine? Because, as I always say, we don't have verb to be in Arabic. We don't have articles in Arabic when we speak, or articles like a and an, for example. If I say أنا مدرس, أنا مدرس, but in English it is I am a teacher, or I am an instructor, whatever. Fine. So this is what makes people sometimes forget this. That's why you say I saw, or correctly is to say I saw an elephant. She is a doctor, not without a. A very big problem that I see, or that we all notice with a lot of our students, is the use of preposition. And this is a very big story actually, for more than one reason. Number one, because we sometimes compare it to Arabic. Okay, in Arabic when I say, for example, أنا خايف من. Okay, and I say I am, in English, I am afraid of. So some people usually confuse this min with another word they don't want to say. Instead of saying of, they say something else. Okay, I talked to him, not like I talked about him or her. Fine. How can we solve this problem? Of course, that we need to refer to two things. The first one is called the collocation, and the second one is Oxford Dictionary. I'm going to share this by the end. As I said, she arrived to the party. She arrived at. Okay, and at, here you see, he arrived at the airport, for example, but she arrived in Cairo. We say at for a small place, in for a big place, and so on. We need to study this. We will not be able to make it by sense. Let's move to another point. Word order. Okay, and we'll see solution to that. Of course, mainly the main solution would be practice and the practice and the practice. In this way, you will gain the language automatically. I go to the store, for example. Okay, and now we come to another point related to pronunciation, and this might be like one of the most common and one of the biggest issues that we need to talk about. The first thing is that we have, like, sometimes we have some phonetic challenges. And this is normal, by the way. Although here as Egyptians, we have like very common mistakes with pronunciation, phonetic challenges with some sounds. And I wonder why we have them. Okay, not like I'm like underestimating the abilities of people, but I say that how come that your first language is Arabic, and Arabic includes all the sounds, nearly all the sounds of all languages. Fine. And I always give this example, for example, for Russian students. Russian students find it very difficult, if not that they find it impossible sometimes, to pronounce ha sound. And that's why you find a lot of Russians saying I have and he have, because they don't have ha sound. Okay, I taught some African students who had an issue with the v sound. I remember that my students used to say very instead of very. People who study Korean and so on, they don't have the da sound, and it's pronounced like ta. I remember that I had a Korean student in my class once whose name was something da tung, and I found that she's telling me ta tung, and I didn't get that. She doesn't know how to pronounce the D sound. And here we have some challenges as the Arabic speakers. I mean, we have some issues with ta and the sound. This is one thing, and it comes by practice. We have something related to pa and the sound, and some other sounds too, and we'll see some examples of that. How can you solve this issue? We'll talk about a very good website that will help us to solve these problems, inshallah, through practice. Let's have a look at some of the phonetic challenges. You agree with me that some people find it difficult to say think, for example. Fine. And a very quick solution to that. Number one, you need to see the tip of your tongue. That. And that, of course. And I always say that to my students, just put your finger on your lips like that and say think. If your tongue touches your fingers, you are saying it in the right way. Okay. And another tip, I tell them like stand in front of the mirror, but of course close the door first, and then say "ha" and "ra." You need to see the tip of your tongue. Okay. Now, here, for example, words like uh, tree, for example, that's sometimes confused with tree, for example. Uh, think and sink. They and they. We see that a lot. Another big issue with pronunciation is vowel sound pronunciation. That some students sometimes change the vowel sounds. And I always say that once you change one sound in English, this would change the meaning completely. Ship is not sheep. Did is not dad, is not did. Okay? And so on. Also, some issues with pa and ba sound. Okay? When I say iPad, for example, it's not like bad. Okay? And there is something funny here that, yeah, like I found some issues with some male students and some other issues with female students. With some male students, I feel that in my classes, I mean, they feel that they are too shy to say the pass sound. Okay? I remember that once somebody, a gentleman in my class told me, "ما أنا مش هتدلع زي البنات كده أقول pa." Okay. I used to say people, خلاص. Say people, it's up to you. Fine. And I find the opposite actually with a lot of ladies who change the ba sound into pa sound when they speak like in a more feminine way, بدلع شوي. So the word mobile becomes like mobile, for example. And that's why I usually tell them, do you usually say hiba or hipa? You got what I mean? So they need some practice because this might change or they will change the meaning actually. We'll move now to the next point, which is a very big issue too, which is the idea of stress and intonation. Word stress, a very big issue. And we'll talk about the solution to that, about word stress and intonation. Inshallah, by the end, we'll have like solutions to all that. Word stress, for example, like when I say photograph. And you find that a lot of people like saying something like photograph and stressing like all the words. The word is photograph, stresses in the first syllable. The second one is the other word that's related is photographic, presses on the second part, photographic. And the third one is the person who does that, who is a photographer. Another issue that's related to that, we'll see on sometimes, of course, and we add like the stress in the wrong place, like a word, and this would like change the meaning completely sometimes, or sometimes it like the word is wrong. Like when I say, for example, it might change a word from a noun into a verb or a verb into a noun, like the word export. Export, when you stress the first part, this is a noun. But when you say export, this is a verb this way. Fine. Import and import. Okay. Sometimes the meaning would be completely different, like the word the present. He gave me a present on my birthday, and please, I would like you to present yourself. This is another word. Then we come to the next point with the stress and intonation, the tone of your voice. The tone of your voice. Okay? How, like the tone that sometimes some people speak with like a flat tone that would not would affect the meaning sometimes or give the wrong meaning. Yes, like when I tell you sorry, not like when I tell you sorry. It's not the same. Okay, you'll have like some examples about that by the end. The next point that I would like to talk about here is silent letters in English. Silent letters. Okay, and this is another common mistake actually. And this problem happens actually because a lot of students don't care, or English learners actually don't care about checking the pronunciation of the word before they read. They depend on your read. That's why, of course, it's not like that common. The word here is night, and you have like some other words like the word tomb, for example, with the B at the end, like the word climb and climbing and so on. Another type of mistakes that we have is the misuse of some vocabulary, that people use wrong vocabulary. And that's why I say this, the wrong word. Like using the word, for example, actually instead of saying currently. Using the word library instead of bookstore. And the main issue here will be something related, that's related to thinking in Arabic and using Google Translate sometimes. I always give this example. If you write a word like maktaba in English, in Google Translate, for example, you will find that his maktaba, it's library. Or it might be a bookshop or a bookstore, which is another maktaba. A library is the place where you borrow books. A bookshop or a bookstore is the place where you buy books. Okay, and you have a stationery shop, which is the place where you buy pens and pencils and so on. Here's another word. The word khayal. It might be imagination. It might be shadow, and so on. That is the idea. Collocation. And this is one of the biggest issues ever. Collocation means words that go together. That this noun goes with this adjective, with this verb, whatever. Fine. You say, you take a photo, you don't make. And for students, for the teachers, you usually hear students saying make and homework. Although it is do homework. ليه؟ عشان بالعربي بيقول بعمل الhomework. You make coffee, but you do your homework. And before we leave this point, just to talk very quickly about the difference between make and do, and this will be like a good tip that you can share with our students, which is that I would like you to look at the activity itself. When you feel that this activity is something that you create, use make. Okay, when something that is something that you create. That's why you say make coffee, make cake, make pizza. But if it is something that's like an activity and you take part in it, use do. That's why we say do research, do homework, and so on. And we'll talk in detail about collocation by the end of our session, inshallah. Then overly literal translation. And this is a very, very common mistake. And this is what we usually call lexical gap. And when I say lexical gap, here is that you think in Arabic, you form your ideas in your mind in Arabic, and then say it in English. Okay? We hear it a lot, like I have 20 years. عشان بالعربي أنا عندي 20 سنة. Okay? And it's correct, of course, to say I am 20 years old. I have a very funny example that happened to me in my class maybe more than 10 years ago. She said after he had a fight with his wife, he gave her her paper. Did anybody get what she wanted to say? Well, because Egyptians would get it. We give her her paper. It's like we divorce her kid. Started because in our culture we say it. You got what I mean? In our culture, but I asked some of my students from other Arab countries, and they didn't understand it because they don't say that in their culture. They don't say it. But here we say it in Egypt. Okay, which is divorce her, and so on. Let's move now to another point, which is some pragmatic or cultural mistakes, like directness versus politeness. Okay, like when you ask about them, for example, give me what, for example. You got what I mean? And this will lead us to polite requests. Okay? It's not acceptable to say that. Could I have some water, please, for example? Being direct and being polite. Formality, of course, when you're, and this, of course, you need to watch who you are talking to. The way you talk to your friend or your brother or sister is not like the same way you talk to somebody who's older than you are, or your boss or whoever. And idioms and idiomatic expression. And this is another story, a very big story, actually. Why? Number one, you will not be able to do it by sense. Okay? It causes misunderstanding sometimes, or usually, actually. The idea of misinterpreting idioms, that you misinterpret the idiom and understand it literally. What is it? To break a leg? Is it to break somebody's leg? Or you wish them good luck? Okay? It's raining cats and dogs. Is it really raining cats and dogs, or it's raining heavily? Fine. And actually, there is only one solution to that. And honestly, this is like a high level of the language. I wouldn't recommend for everyone who, or let's say for people who are just starting to learn the language, to refer to idioms and expressions, but like build the basis of the language first, and then start learning idioms and expressions. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't like know something about it. Know some, but don't go deep that much. Fine. And there is something that can solve this problem, and actually it comes through practice and the practice and the practice. Another point here, which is the idea of overgeneralization. What do you mean by overgeneralization here? Verb tense error, for example, that some people would think that all verbs, when you need to write them in the past, you need to put ed. Okay, she got, of course, whenever I say that, she eat it. Whenever I say that, fine, she went or he ate. Another point is with verb tense errors, using the past simple form instead of the participle. And I know that you will tell me that in American English, they do that. It's fine. Americans don't usually use the present perfect. They usually use the past simple instead. Of course, it would be better if there's like, say, I have gone there, or she's eaten some. Nouns, which is adding an s, child's and sheep's and so on, children, of course, and sheep. Comparative adjectives, like, and we see that a lot, okay, or sometimes not a lot. I mean, fine, you need to know that's good, better, bad, worse, and so on. Then over applying possessive forms. These are some of the mistakes. I just collected like the mistakes that some of our students make. Himself instead of himself, and themselves, and so on. Some other examples, and I hear this a lot, like you have like double comparative. I'm gonna say more better. Of course, it's much better. Sometimes in making double negation, although double negation is acceptable in American English. For example, Americans would say, "I haven't seen nothing," or it's correct to say, "I haven't seen anything." Pluralization of uncountable nouns, and this is another issue. Uncountable nouns. I'm going to share with you solutions to all that. By then, I'm just taking notes for myself before we continue. The main problem that happens here with using plural with uncountable noun is that, again, some students don't know that this word is not countable in Arabic. In English, I mean, because in Arabic it's countable. In Arabic we have معلومة معلومات, but in English it's just information. And if I want to say معلومات, I have to say some pieces of information. In Arabic we say نصيحة, نصائح, but in English it's just one word, which is advice. Let's try to say some pieces of advice. And this is very common. How many of us teachers heard it from our students? I don't want to say that I heard it from some teachers, forgive me. Okay, homeworks. And the work is uncountable. Okay, and when I say works, this is another story. Like when I say the complete works of William Shakespeare, the complete works of Naguib Mahfouz. This is another word. Fine. And now we come to another issue, which is the idea of listening and comprehension. And the problem here happens because our ears are not used that well to listen, to listening, and we need to do more practice with that. Like homophones, for example, of words that have the same sound. The word homo means the same. So homophones, the same sound. Like, is it there or there or there? They have the same meaning, bear or bear. Okay, and the solution here is that you need to understand it from the context itself. Fine. Like when I say, they're my friends. There, so it will be the third one, they, which means they are. Okay, they brought their laptop. That's the first one. There is some sugar on the table. So that's the second one, and so on. Mishearing phrases. Is it I love rain or I love rain? And the two words have the same meaning. Another issue, which is called the fossilized errors. And these are like errors that have been like fossilized in our brains, that are the same, that they have been with us for years, which we call persistent mistakes. Okay, I'm here since 5 years. And the point here is that in Arabic, we don't have the same structure, maybe. Okay, that's why it will be better, of course, if you refer to the grammar rule, which is I have been here for 5 years. Okay, the word every day, like one word, or every day separately. Like, for example, this the first one is an adjective. Like when I say it's an everyday routine, it's a routine that I have every day. So it must be one word. I visit my grandparents every day, for example. This is another word, which is an adverbial place. Additional common mistakes in speaking, for example, speaking mistakes. Number one, pronunciation and the speed. This is actually like something that is very funny. I hear in my class, in my speaking class. Okay, بالمصري كده بالبلدي, when you see the students بياكلوا الكلمة عشان ما حدش ياخد باله ان هم they made a mistake. تلاقي حد instead of saying advantages, عشان ما اخدش بالي. You know what I mean? And this makes them, and usually they like forget the S at the end of the sentence or of the word, for example. فgo تحس انهم بيكسلوا كده يقروا يعني they feel like they don't want to read the end of the word. Fine. And another issue that happens because of that is that the people, usually some people, like their voice like dies down when they speak, their voice goes down. Fine. Instead of being going, like going. Fine. This would be a problem. Okay. And speaking too fast, which leads to errors sometimes. And speaking too slowly because of hesitation. Fine. This is a common mistake that we need to make the people who understand us, I'm sorry, the people who listen to us understand what we're saying. It's not like you are talking too fast to show them that you are perfect, or talking too slow to make sure you are hesitant, to make sure that you are not going to make mistakes. Make it normal. Don't be worried about making mistakes. This will be one of our sessions later, inshallah, about how we can overcome this, because this is related more to something psychological. Grammar and structure mistakes. Okay, incorrect word order and wrong prepositions. I guess we talked about that earlier. And other issues like not using contractions. I'm sorry, sometimes, like I do not know, like I don't know, and so I don't know, and so on. Another mistake that you make while speaking is that you feel too shy to ask the speaker to repeat. Why not? Just repeat. Ask them to repeat. What will happen? And now we come to some tips for improvement. And now it's time to share the links that I'm going to share with you, Allah, and the points that you are going to talk about together. Here we have some tips for improvement. These are like basic tips. The first one, you need to practice and practice and practice. Wallahi, if you have the chance to engage with native speakers or people who speak English well. Another point, record your speech and compare it with native audio or with correct language. This will be a very good thing. And there are a lot of applications, and you can find this with the artificial intelligence tools, but I'm not going to talk about this now. That will help you to do it. Number two, you can use like reliable resources. Okay, like speaking apps, YouTube, pronunciation, and the apps that I'm going to use with you, inshallah. Regular grammar and vocabulary drills and exercise. And that's why actually I sent you or told you about these 4 books, because the books come actually with the answer key at the end. You can do practice like that. Inshallah, I'm going to share with you more interactive links that will help you to do that, like grammar exercises or whatever, that you do the exercise, you get correction with feedback and so on. Tip number 3, exposure. And this is actually the most important thing. We need to have what is called the language exposure. أنا متعرض للlanguage طول الوقت. Even if I don't understand 100% of what is being said, مجرد ان انا I'm exposed, as long as I'm exposed to the language all the time, this will improve my language. And that's why I always, in my class, I give this example. Even if you don't speak Chinese and you go and live in China for like 3 months, by the way, after a while, you will find that you started to learn some. And this is what happens with people who work with tourists and so on. can watch sitcoms, watch videos, watch TED Talks. Okay, we'll talk about resources, some more resources about that, inshallah. Hopefully, if not today, so it will be later. The most important thing is to learn natural language flow. This is the idea. Stop reading, just reading alone. Watch sitcoms, TED Talks, and other media. So this is what some people make, or what some people make it when they want to improve the language. Find the natural language flow with listening and reading at the same time. Receiving feedback. Of course, ask for constructive feedback and continuously work on correction. And this is very important. You can use ChatGPT, you can use a teacher, you can use, ask a teacher to do that. You can use many tools that will help you. And now for conclusion and for discussion. I would like you, before I end my talk, to recognize and address common errors to improve your communication. This is one thing. Regular practice and self-correction are essential. Okay, and there is a question that you need to ask yourself. Do you recognize any of these mistakes in your own learning? You need to ask your question. This you need to ask yourself this question. It's very important. You have to listen to yourself. Even if you find like you can record, give it to somebody who can help you with that. Fine. Don't be too shy to make mistakes. Fine. Before I move to questions and answers, let me share with you some of, and I'm going to answer all your questions. Thank you for being patient. I'm going to answer all your questions, but let me first share with you the links or the materials that I would like to share with you. We already talked about grammar way books. I guess we already talked about this. I will just share with you like one of the books and show you how you can work on that. And let it be like Grammar Way 1, for example. Although the book is a bit old, but actually you'll find it very useful. And I know that it is below the level of many of you. I do know that, but still, wallahi, and I swear to God, find something in the book that you really missed. Okay? The book is a basic level for A1 or basic level A1 and A1 plus. It has like a lot of stuff that would be suitable for you. You just start. You see, even something about the plural, the countable and uncountable nouns, which some people still don't know. Fine. As you see, these are the topics that are there in the book. They look like very basic, but still, I swear to God, you'll find that there is something that you will learn when you use. Okay? I don't want to spend much time talking about this. You already have the books, and we can have more discussion about that later, inshallah. And the second point here is about the language mistakes, mainly with the structure and so on. Actually, one of the best, it's not the best link that I have ever seen and used in my life, is the link that I'm going to share with you in a minute. Give me a minute. Here it is. It is Purdue University, and it is OWL or online. I'm sorry, OWL or online writing lab. Honestly, it is the best. Okay, you will find like a lot of resources that will help you a lot. Called Online Writing Lab. Okay, and they even added like vidcasts. This is new, actually, the first time for me to see. Fine, it's amazing. Online Writing Lab. Okay, believe me, you will find everything, and I mean everything that you may need about the language structure. And I know what I'm telling. And I'm going to share with you. Let me share it on the on our WhatsApp group now. Okay, I'm going to share it in a minute. Fine. So here, for example, you will find something related to general writing in general. I'd like you to look at this part. Writing resource, it will teach you everything about the structure of words from A to Z, from the lowest level to the highest level, actually. About writing style, the writing process, academic writing. This will help you a lot, especially for academic students. The mechanics, when I say mechanics, okay, you talk about this stuff as you see, which is really important. Yani this website might need like 2 or 3 hours to discuss its option. Fine, everything that you might think about. Okay, even subject, yani just write subject verb. A moment ago we talked about subject verb agreement, for example. You'll find everything related to it. Fine, don't want to waste more time to talk about this. Let me at first. Anything wrong with the website? Anyway, let me keep the links. I'm going to share them later. Don't worry. The second link that will be so useful is Oxford Collocation Dictionary. Oxford Dictionary at first, and the other one is Oxford Collocation Dictionary. Honestly, yeah, this one, Oxford Collocation. Okay. What is great here, as I told you about this website, is that now we are working on the idea of collocation, the mistakes that students make. Okay, you write any word that you want. Let's say a word like party. هنعمل حفلة, for example, with the word party. So you just write the word party here, and the website will tell you about, of course, not the one that I'm talking about political party or حزب سياسي. I'm talking about the social occasion. So the word party here, for example, type what are the adjectives that go with the party? What are the verbs? And ناوي أعمل حفلة أو هنعمل حفلة. The word is give a party, have a party, hold the party, organize a party, and so on. So you just write the word, it will tell you about the nouns, the verbs, the adjectives, anything that comes, or the preposition that comes with. And this will solve the problem of preposition. Okay? With the same idea, Oxford Dictionary, you just write the word that you want to know the preposition of it, the preposition. Concerning pronunciation mistake, I would recommend this great website, which is BBC Pronunciation. Everybody who might have a problem with this, with pronunciation, please refer to this great website. What's great here is that you find all the sounds of English, all the sounds, start from here. And all that you are going to do is that open this is a video. I have a YouTube video that explains to you how you can use this website. I don't want to waste more time about this. All right? Just open the video, listen, and repeat. Full stop. Okay? As for solving the problem of word stress, the website that explains the idea of word stress very well and syllable stress very well is this website, which is English Club Word Stress. Then I explain to you the idea from the beginning, starting from division of syllables. Like when I say dog is 1 syllable, better is 2 syllables, beautiful, beautiful, 3 syllables, and so on. It started with explaining something about the syllables. Number 1, how you can know the difference of stress and which part is stressed with audio, like photograph, photographer. We find a lot of our students saying a photographer, for example. Okay, and photographic, and so on. وهير بقى أنا want to say something للأمانة, let me say that in Arabic. أنا لو بستخدم الإنجليش مجرد إن أنا أعمل communication مع حد ماشي في الشارع ولا حاجة، ولا سافرت بره، مش هتفرق خالص إن أنا أبقى very accurate about what I'm saying. أنا دايما بقول example ده، أنا ماشي في الشارع وبقول للحد I supermarket bread. فهو هيفهم ان انا I want to go, I would like to have to know the place of a supermarket because I would like to buy bread. فهمني من الثلاث كلمات. Then I'm talking about a higher level that's very important if you are applying for a job interview, for an exam, for whatever. That we need to reach this level of accuracy. This is for word test. For intonation, I'm going to share with you like a slide about this idea and how it would affect the meaning of the word. Or what I'm saying, as I told you earlier, like when I say, for example, sorry, it's like I can't hear you. I'm going to share something. You don't need to share it now. Like when I tell you, for example, sorry, like I can't hear you there. Changing the intonation affected the meaning. And if I tell you, it's not like the same thing when I tell you, for example, you come from Egypt. This means that I know that you come from Egypt. Is it the same like when I tell you, you come from Egypt? That's your bag? You see, just the intonation, although it's like, as I told you, it's a statement, not a question, but the tone of my voice changed its mood. Okay? And also it would affect the way you ask somebody politely. Now tell somebody, for example, could you open the door? This is polite. It's not like, could you open the door? Could you send me the report? This is an order. And the meaning here is different. Concerning polite requests. And this is something which is extremely important. Polite request. And this is something, honestly, that I'm so sorry to say that sometimes we miss in our society. When we find some people like just ordering others, it's not like asking them to say politely. And let me tell you that some people, wallahi, are rejected in job interviews because of their the language that they use. The polite language that is used. Here is a very good way explains this idea in detail, by asking for things, asking for information, making requests, and so on. And there is an exercise at the end about this idea. As for silent letters, a very good website that explains the idea of silent letter is English Espresso. Maybe because I love coffee. A moment, yeah, Kareem. I will finish in 2 minutes. Okay? The website here, I'm going to share all these websites on the WhatsApp group, I promise you. With the handout, I'm going to send you a handout with all this, inshallah, with the links. And here you find, like, when it is like silent letter, A as a silent letter, like when I say artistically, for example. Thank you so much. Like, climb, or climb as a lot of students might say. Climb, comb, crumbs, that. And you can tell them, like, as the rule that every M followed by B, the B is silent, B for boys. And every B followed by T, the B is silent. Again, that's why we say that. We'll say doubt. Fine. We need the word this to, and so on. That is nearly all about it. Idiomatic expressions. I will do my best to send you something that helps you with learning idiomatic expressions, although, honestly, it's a big problem. And you need to study. You need to study well. You need to compare it to Arabic. And inshallah, I'm going to share with you something which is really nice, which is some idioms and proverbs and their meanings in Arabic. I have some nice links about this. I'm done and with my presentation. And now let me have a look at the chat. And if you have any questions, you can turn the mic on or you can write it in the chat box. The reaction art doesn't work with me here. Don't know why. I don't know. Can we use idioms in formal situations? Yes, as long as the idioms are suitable for this formal situation. Okay. And another point: do not overuse idiomatic expression. This should be my advice to you. If there are safe websites which practice with other people. I will tell you something. Honestly, thank you so much for saying the word safe. Because we cannot be sure if somebody offers this service of talking to you in English for free. Are you sure why he's doing it for free? I can trust it if you like go to, without mentioning names of some websites, you need to pay for that, and this will cost you a lot actually, honestly. I'm not sure, but as far as I know, you will not pay less than $10 per hour. As far as I know, I'm not sure. Maybe more than that, which might be costly. But if you find somebody offering the service for free, would you trust them? I don't know. I wouldn't. And that's why I would say that doing it with like somebody, this would be better. Somebody you trust, a trusted websites, or do it with ChatGPT. Would you please add me to the WhatsApp group? It's my pleasure and honor, of course. I will share the link to the WhatsApp group here, and even even the people who are our friends who are already here. You can add whoever you want. It's my pleasure and honor, of course, to have you all. Yeah, here it is in the chat. The link to the WhatsApp group. It's my pleasure and honor. Can you give us websites to write in and correct for us? Yeah, yes, Ahmed, you can do that with ChatGPT. This is one thing. And there are other websites like, I can share them with you. Actually, you can do it on Grammarly too. And even I can share with you some videos about this idea. Now I'm done with answering the questions on the on the chat box. Does anybody want to ask any question or to say any comment before we say goodbye? Just turn the mic on or raise your hand and share whatever you want to share.
ازيك يا دكتور؟
مين معايا؟ آلاء، ازيك يا آلاء، عاملة ايه؟
انا عندي مشكله ان انا مع كل الريسورسز دي انا بتوه ومش عارفه ابدا منين.
That's a very good part. طب بصي يا آلاء، يعني هنحدد الهدف بتاعنا الأول. خلاص، نمبر 1 ابقى عارف الليفل بتاعي ايه. انا الليفل بتاعي A1 مثلا او A2 او whatever. That's number 1. خلاص، هعمل لنفسي تارجت. خلاص، ان انا ان شاء الله by the end of the month مثلا انا هوصل لليفل كذا. For example، ده يبقى محتاج placement test او level test we can talk about. خلاص، حددي بقى لنفسك انت. خلاص، النهارده مثلا انا هعمل براكتس للانجلش، هنقول يعني ساعه ونص، ساعتين. For example، هنقول ساعه. خلاص، هحدد نفسي النهارده مثلا انا هعمل 30 minutes هيبقوا listening بس. اوكي، و30 minutes في الليسننج دول انا هعمل ابلكيشن مثلا ان انا هسجل لنفسي، هيبقى كده عملت سبيكينج. اوكي، نظبطيها انت زي ما انت عايزه بقى. هعمل النهارده listening مع reading، مره مع speaking. هقعد النهارده هكتب 30 minutes. خلاص، ويا ريت تعملي journaling. الجورنالينج is very important. journaling ان انا بدون الحاجه اللي انا عملت النهارده ايه. انا النهارده ذاكرت كذا، عملت كذا. ده في حد ذاته بيعمل موتيفيشن للواحد. هحط لنفسي كده تو دو ليست ان انا ناوي النهارده اخلص 1 2 3. فاهماني؟ انت ما تتوهيش نفسك. المشكله ما تحطيش نفسك قدامك اللينكس دي كلها عشان كده انا هتوه. It's not like that at all. It's not like that really. انت حددي هدفك الاول. Okay, I hope I have answered your question. Someone here, a Zoom user, said thank you for your efforts with us. It's my pleasure والله يا Zoom user. انا مش عارف انت مين ولا انت مين، بس it's my pleasure يعني يا Zoom user. Okay, thank you so much. How to talk ميدو أشرف. How to talk without being stressed. بص يا حبيب قلبي، احنا مشكلة الاسترس ده ان انا لما باجي اتكلم ببقى under stress ليها اكتر من سبب. السبب الاولاني خلاص ان انا I'm worried ان انا I'm not prepared honestly. لان انا if I were prepared I wouldn't be that much stressed. يبقى انا step number 1 انا I have to practice and because this will give me confidence. That's a point number. Number 2, do not be worried about making mistakes. Okay? ان شاء الله السيشن بتاعتنا بتاعتنا الجايه ان شاء الله I'm thinking about it at one of our coming sessions how to speak fluently with some tips كده that will help us to speak fluently إن شاء الله. I promise you إن شاء الله. This will be my coming plan إن شاء الله. Okay. الحاجة التانية don't be worried about making mistakes. خلاص. في example ده في حاجة كده بقولها في الكلاسز بتاعتي. خلاص. حبيبي لو أنت جاي وخايف إنك تعمل mistakes أو متوقع إنك مش تعمل mistakes أنت جاي ليه؟ وصلت؟ أوكي يا ميدو؟ معايا؟ إحنا جايين نتعلم. اوكي وبوينت تانية مهمة بقى. خلاص انا دلوقتي بتكلم هو بي شور طبعا طالما انت في الكلاس وفي تيتشر عنده كنترول على الكلاس فانت ان شاء الله ما فيش حد هيتريق عليك ولا هيضحك ولا هيهزر الكلام ده لان ده اللي بيخوفنا ان انا اصلا انا I'm worried about making mistakes so that people might laugh at me. ما حدش هيضحك عليك. اوكي في بقى ناس بيوصل معاهم يعني ما بيبقى الموضوع under يعني out of control sometimes. وحصل الموقف ده معايا somebody يعني جت مره قالت لي بص بصراحه انا ساعات بتكلم وهي كانت big position في يعني مديرة في مكان وحاجات زي كده، الموضوع بقى له كتير يعني. وقالت لي أنا مديرة والناس أصغر مني وبنات أصغر مني بيتكلموا ولما باتكلم انجلش الضحك بقى والحركات دي وإن أنا يعني I made a mistake. كان الموضوع سهل جدًا ولا أي حاجة، لما ألاقي حد كده بيستظرف ولا حاجة just tell them واضح إن أنا غلطت، ده psychological ده، واضح إن أنا I made a mistake. ممكن حضرتك أو حضرتك تصححي لي اللي أنا قُلته؟ أنا لسه باتعلم انجلش يعني، فشكرًا إن حضرتك بتساعدني. بس as simple as that. كده you put them in a corner ويعني this might يعني solve the problem but as I told you practice as much as you can and don't be worried about make mistakes. Speak, make mistakes. ليه؟ لأن if you don't make mistakes you will not learn. دايما بقول إن في two types of students don't learn. The one who is too shy and someone who is too proud. أنا شايف نفسي قوي فأنا مش عايز أتعلم تاني أو إن أنا مكسوف فمش عايز أتعلم. I hope I have answered your question. I need a site for games for grade 1 and 2 primary stages to make the session more interactive with them. يعني حاضر. Okay. حاضر. إن شاء الله. I'm going to share this on the WhatsApp group for everyone. كريم حبيبي. Sorry I kept you raising your hand for a long time. حبيبي يا كريم. كريم الشيخ.
No problem دكتور no problem.
Yes.
دكتور أولا أنا مبسوط جدا إن أنا مع حضرتك النهاردة يعني it's really my pleasure.
Pleasure is mine.
يعني بس أنا عندي مشكلة إن أنا فعلا لأني أنا بادئ كورسز مع ال AUC من أول A1 تمام A2
Just a minute. دي واحدة بس. خلاص. Don't want to cut this part. Just a minute. I'm pausing recording. معلش. Okay. طبعا ده بروبلم ما شاء الله يعني يعني it's a professional place one of the best places ever to take courses يعني that's the point. انا بس البوينت هنا يعني your problem is that المشكله مش في ان انا باخد كورسز المشكله ان انا بطبق اللي انا بتعلمه ازاي. Our biggest problem is that we think in Arabic. خلاص انا بفكر بالعربي فانا بعمل فورميشن للايدياز في دماغي بالعربي وبقعد اعمل ترانزليشن ولما بعمل ترانزليشن ده اللي بياخد وقت بيخليني افكر قبل ما اقول الكلمه. انما انت لو اتعلمت لو عودت نفسك بقى ان انت you think in English we form ideas in your mind in English خلاص اكيد مش هيبقى في مشكله. هديك I'll give you an example. If I hold now for example this glass of water. I'm not sure if you're right. glass of water. خلاص السؤال هنا هل لما انت بصيت للجلاس اوف ووتر ده or a pen or whatever قعدت فكرت قلت والله اصل كلمه كوبايه بالانجلش يعني جلاس وميه يعني ما عملتش كده. انت اوتوماتيكلي لقيت نفسك بتقول it's a glass of water. ليه؟ لان the same example you repeated 100 times. فالعمليه هنا repetition وان انا احاول ان مش كل لما اكون الكلمه قدامي انتوا للاسف بشوف الكلام ده في الكلاس كتير قوي مع with a lot of students ان الكلمه تبقى قدامه كلمه سهله ما فيهاش اي حاجه لا اصل هي دي مش معناها بالعربي كذا يا حبيب قلبي يا حبيبه قلبي. No need to think about it in English. To think of the translation I mean. ما انا عارف ان دي معناها كذا خلاص. مع البراكتس بقى عشان كده بقى قلت من ضمن الحاجات المهمه جدا اللي هي اللانجوج اكسبوجر ان انا بعرض نفسي لللانجوج طول الوقت. I'm exposed to the language all the time. دي جد idea. فانا من كتر ما انا بسمع انجلش كوريكت انجلش فالافكار بتتكون في دماغي اوتوماتيكلي. اوكي
I got it I got it. يعني أنا فعلًا يعني باحاول أعمل كده، يعني باسمع English movies كتير، و باتفرّج يعني على English movies كتير، وباحاول أتفرّج من غير subtitles عشان أتعوّد على الكلام.
That's good that's good حلو أوي. ومع ذلك أنا اللي باقول لك بقى لو أنت بتتفرج على الmovies حُط الEnglish subtitle. أنا اللي باقول لك أهو. ده هيعمل building up للlanguage أحسن من إنك تسمع بس. وأنا عارف إن في a lot of educators هيختلفوا معايا في الموضوع ده، أنا عارف. بس أنا عن تجربة والناس اللي معايا هنا في الsession دلوقتي اللي معايا وكانوا معايا في الclasses جرّبنا ده مع بعض وشُفنا التجارب دي نجحت قد إيه. Thank you so much يا كريم. رُميس.
Hi, Doctor.
اتفضلي.
Can I ask you one question? Okay, I am trying to learn another language beside the English, so I want to save my level or level up my language, English, of course, beside learning another language. So I want to, I do, I don't want to be or أهمل the English language beside learning another language. How can I do the balance between those language?
That's an excellent. You have to number one to keep practicing both, honestly. And the point is something. The best thing is something because I tried this because I remember that once in my life, okay, I was like I was able to speak alhamdulillah English, French, and German at the same time. Fine. بس alhamdulillah I forgot the German and French she called don't pray. Alhamdulillah. Three is something. Hmm? I will tell you something. The point is that put your yourself معايا in this language mood. بمعنى أنا دلوقتي طبعًا number one you have to practice. Practice and practice and practice. Number two خلاص أنا دلوقتي في المود بتاع الإنجليش I'm studying English فput yourself in the mood of English and don't think about anything else. You got what I mean? This is the only way. أوكي؟ يعني هاقول لِك على حاجة تجربة شخصية، أنا خريج ألسُن. أوكي؟ أنا فاكر كويس أوي لمّا كان بيبقى عندنا ترجمة وده يمكن يكون مشابه للسؤال اللي أنتِ سألتيه. لمّا بيكون عندنا امتحان ترجمة from English into Arabic. الtarget language بتاعتي كانت إيه؟ العربي. أوكي؟ فأنا في الوقت ده يوم قبل الامتحان بفترة ويوم الامتحان ده خلاص ما باحطش نفسي غير في مود العربي بس. أقعد بقى أقرا أي حاجة عربي. يوم الإنجليش العكس بقى English Arabic into translate Arabic into English فده بقى خلاص mood English بس. newspapers بقى ومش عارف إيه، كأن أنا بابرمج دماغي والعقل الباطن بتاعي اللي على English بس. I think this would work. Okay? I got a question here. This is from Mariam Elzain. Doctor, have you ever met someone with ADHD who was able to learn English and speak fluent؟ طبعًا يعني إيه يعني إيه القضية في كده؟ إيه يا مريم؟ طبعًا إيه المشكلة؟ I think all HD cases are so fluent in بالضبط ده منى ردِّت كانت thank you يا منى. مش all ولا حاجة يا منى يعني كتير منهم بيبقوا كده. It's fine.
I met about till now. About 3 till now and they are fluent in English.
Yeah, why not? Of course لا it has nothing to do يا مريم وthank you يا منى for answering the question.
دكتور can I say something؟
Please do.
أنا مشكلتي مش باعرف أرتّب الأفكار أثناء الكلام، بس لو حضرتك مثلًا ادّيتني ورقة باكتب كويس جدًا. في الspeaking لأ، محتاجة أنظّم أفكاري يعني، فباعاني من المشكلة دي. يعني أنا حسّيت إني وصلت لlevel معيّن وخلاص مش قادرة يعني أعمل practice.
لا، سهلة ما فيهاش أي حاجة إن شاء الله. بُص، خلاص هاقول لك على حل كويس، هنعمل إيه، دلوقتي أنا في أفكار عايز أتكلم كويس، أوكي؟ زي ما باكتب كويس أنتِ بتكتبي كويس بس مشكلة الspeaking صح؟ أنا فهمت. طيب، أنا دلوقتي هاعمل notes وفي الnotes دي هارتّب فيها الأفكار بتاعتي، زي ما باعمل في الإيه، في الwrite أوكي؟ بس زي ما باقول أنا مش عارف أنتِ كنتِ عندي في الclass قبل كده؟
كنت مع حضرتك.
جميل، جميل. فاكرة لمّا كنت باقول لكم خلاص يا جماعة لو سمحتوا even if you get ideas from the internet أو ChatGPT أو whatever خلاص، أو أنا باحضّر أي task باقول لكم تعملوا إيه، نكتب ايه؟
صح.
notes, just notes. مش عايز اكتر من كده. حتى كلمه بقولها في كل الكلاسز: no need to write the story of your life. الاقي حد ما شاء الله واقف في البرزنتيشن كده وماسك النوتس بقى وعمال ايه بيقرا قصه حياته او قصه حياتها. انا I don't want to do that. احنا دلوقتي التاسك بتاعتنا speaking مش writing. خلاص؟
Yes.
فانت هتعملي ايه؟ اكتبي انه حضري الحاجات اللي في بالك كلها، دماغك كلها، واكتبي نوتس. وانت بتكتبي النوتس دي هفترض ان انت هتقولي سطرين، السطرين دول لخصين في كلمتين ثلاثه. وتبني نفسك، force your brain to speak, to say these ideas. معايا؟ again don't be worried about making mistakes. الموضوع يا جماعه psychological اكتر من اي حاجه ثانيه. احنا خايفين لحد يعني that somebody might judge us. حد والله انا هتكلم وهيبقى شكله وحش فاسكت احسن. لا طبعا، لا انا هتكلم. حته كده psychological هنتكلم في الموضوع ده بعدين. خلاص ان انا if you want to like to overcome your fear, face it. عايز تتغلب على الخوف بتاعك، واجه الخوف بتاعك. خايف من الضلمه، اقف في مكان ضلمه. خايف انك تتكلم قدام الناس، تتكلم قدام الناس اللي معايا في الكورس. قلت الكلام ده كتير قوي معاهم. اوكي. كريم again حبيبي. مريم, have I answered your question? مريم.
Yes. Thank you دكتور.
You're welcome مريم.
انا كان عندي المشكله دي يا دكتور بالظبط اول ما ابتديت الكورسز. انا يعني انا عايز اقول لحضرتك اول سيشن ليا في A21 اول ما ابتديت خالص. يعني الانستراكتور بتسالني انا ما ردتش يعني.
يا خبر ابيض. واتغلبت على الموضوع ده الحمد لله.
ما يعني انا ما ردتش حرفيا، بتنده عليا ما فيش.
اوكي اصلا الحمد لله.
اللي هو انا دخلت عالم، انا حسيت ان انا الانجليش اللي أنا كنت باخده في المدرسه ده مش ما فيش خالص، صفر.
معلش الحمد لله الحمد لله. ثرو براكتس الدنيا هتظبط كمان، هتبقى احسن من كده كمان ان شاء الله.
وكمان كنت يعني كنت بخاف جدا اسال، يعني ما كنتش بحب اسال. عمال 6 سنوات كسبت بعد كده عرفت ان انا يعني لازم اسال ولازم يعني وعادي ان انا اغلط لان انا كده بتعلم في الحياه.
As simple as that حبيبي. Thank you so much. يوسف النحاس. Thank you doctor for all this information. حبيب قلبي يا جو. حبيبي. It's my pleasure. جميل. حبايبي does anybody
Something about the
who's talking منى يسمع
one. Okay. We have to stop thinking about others to practice English because some Egyptians, when you say a wrong word, they repeat it and laugh and make it a theme between them. If we stop thinking about other, I think it will be better.
Thank you منى. طبعا الموضوع بصي هي موضوع انت يعني as a teacher بقى let me tell you something. القصه هنا الكنترول اوف ذا تيتشر. ان التيتشر نمبر 1. بس ده هيدخلنا في حته تانيه بقى اللي هي تيتشر تريننج بقى. معايا انا بتكلم النهارده مع الستودنتس والتيتشرز، فدي حته تيتشر تريننج. المفروض التيتشر يبقى عنده الكنترول ده، ما يسمحش لاي حد ان هو يعلق تعليق واحد على اي حد. وابسط كلمه ابتدي بيها خلاص ان احنا جايين كلنا عشان نتعلم، واحنا كلنا بنتعلم من بعض. حتى انا از تيتشر انا اي ليرن فروم اصلا. بنتعلم مع بعض ونعمل الكالتشر دي جوه الكلاس، ويبقى فيه الاتيتيود ده جوه الكلاس ان احنا كلنا جايين بنتعلم من بعض وكلنا جايين بنستفيد ومحدش we are all brothers and sisters and we are all friends. creating rapport بقى ان يبقى علاقتي كويسه بالستودنتس، وفي نفس الوقت الستودنتس علاقتهم ببعض، الانفايرمنت الاتموسفير اللي موجود في الكلاس، كل ده بيفرق. خلينا نتكلم في الموضوع ده في التيتشر تريننج يا منى. ثانك يو سو ماتش. ثانك يو. انا وان ثانك يو. انا مهما حفظت كلمات لازم اغلط في السبيلنج. وثانك يو فور سينج ات. يا دعاء العسيبي، يا دعاء بالله عليك. خلاص انا جبت سيره ان احنا نحفظ كلمات. خلاص انا بقول انا دلوقتي look up the word in English معايا، know the definition, know the example, use it in your life. full stop. بس خلاص بلاش القصه بتاعت المدرسه بتاعت كل يوم يا حبايبي احفظوا 10 كلمات واحفظ الكلمه بالعربي. ما انا لو حفظت الكلمه بالعربي انا مش هعرف استخدمها بالانجلش. use an English dictionary, use ChatGPT, use any artificial intelligence tool. Know the word, learn the word in English and its definition, its example, use it. تاني عارف بتكلم بسرعه. Get the meaning of the word in English. Now there is a new vocabulary word. Get me the definition. Know the definition. Study the definition. Keep repeating the definition. تالي قرار the definition لغايه ما يثبت في دماغك. احفظه. مش احفظه I mean يعني ما بقولش احفظ الكلمه، افهم. اعمل language exposure ان انا عرفت الديفينيشن، عرفت الاكزامبل، بستخدمه في example, use it in your life بس. وده اللي بيحصل في الكورس، تاخدوا كلمات جديده. الكلمات دي الجديده اللي بتتعلموها دي بيبقى بنطلع الديفينيشن والاكزامبل، استخدمتيها في exercise، استخدموها في الكلاس، استخدموها في listening، استخدموها في reading. خلاص سبت. I hope I have answered your question. Yeah, دعاء. Who else would like to answer? Ask, I'm sorry. I'm here to answer. Does anybody want to ask any more questions? That's all. تمام. Thank you so much, my dear friends. It has been my pleasure, wallahi. Thank you so much for attending this session. I've enjoyed my time with you.
Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure to see you and to meet you all. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum. Goodbye. You're welcome. Thank you. Kareem, another question?
Thank you so much for you, Doctor.
Habib.
And really, it's my pleasure to be here with you. It's the first time for me to be here with you, but it's my pleasure. I'm really learning from you more things from you.
Habibi, thank you so much. It's my pleasure, wallahi. Thank you, Habibi.
Can you send it all the links you talked about it?
Yeah, I promise you. I promise you I'm going to send it, inshallah. You're welcome. Thank you so much. You're welcome, ya Alia. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for those who wrote. Thank you. Okay, it's my pleasure. دعاء وسام. Hi, Sam. Hello. Alia. DH. I don't know who DH. Thank you for your useful for these. You're welcome. DH. I don't know who DH. At least tell me your name. And are you unknown or something? You're welcome, ya Salma. You're welcome, Ahmed Rizq. My pleasure.
Hello, Dr. أمدان يا حباب. Hey,
It's fine. لا خالص طلع. It's my pleasure. You're welcome. So much. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, everyone, and see you later, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام.